Hello, hockey fans. Hey, howdy, how you doing? Drop the Gloves pod. Happy New Year. Taking a couple weeks off here. The boys, we'll go back a little bit. Boys took a pair of games from Sheridan right before getting on the bus and driving to Minnesota to play in the Super Rink in the NA3HL Showcase. And they just came back to Gillette end of last week, had another series with Sheridan in Sheridan here. Those are the two games that you are going to see the recap of here after a little bit when we get into the Wilds weekend that was. New year, resolutions have started. Some have probably already failed. Some are still going strong. If your resolution was to get yourself into better shape, you need to check out the good folks at Underdog Nutrition. We've been telling you about them now for months. You need to go to Facebook. You need to search Underdog Nutrition. Give that page a like, and you're going to see everything that they have. Not just the products in the store, but the knowledge of those products. Everything that you will need if your New Year's resolution is to look decent with your shirt off come late spring, early summer, when all the ice finally melts off the lake. That's who you need to talk to. The good folks at Underdog Nutrition can help you reach your New Year's resolution goals. So, like we said, boys swept Sheridan, got on the bus, took off to Minnesota. At the Showcase, 1-2, one win against 2 losses. Great hockey was played. We talk with Ian Richards and Isaac Young tonight. We get into the Showcase a little bit about the style of hockey that was played, and they give some real good insight into kind of what it was that the boys saw that they can work on here, you know, as we get into the back half of the season. Again, coming up this weekend, Friday night we're in town, host Sheridan. Saturday night go to Sheridan. I'm sure they're getting sick of facing the Hawks. I'm sure the Hawks are getting sick of getting pounded on by us. So Sheridan again this weekend, and then next weekend, 14th and 15th, is the Helena series. That the first of 2 times that Helena make their way down to Gillette here in the second half of the season. Talk about that a little bit with the boys also. When we get done with the recap, when we get done with the interviews, we'll talk a little bit about awards, records, stuff of that nature that's kind of happened here over the last month. So, before we get to the interviews, let's go ahead and take a look back at the Wilds weekend that was.
Ready to drop this puck here on New Year's Eve game, and hope everybody has a wonderful start to 2022, and we're on the way. Blake Billings down low, dragging the puck, man on. Gillette's got 3-on-2 here. Nice play, nice shot, and they'll come right back and score. Number 5 for Gillette, Sky Solig. And a great 3-on-2. He delayed, went high, and just like that, we're 1-1. We got a 1-on-2 here, and he's going to look to drop that. Yep. Hits man in stride. Nice save by Loeffler. That puck goes behind the net. Hawks have played up to the point. It's kept in by Gillette. Down low here, we got Solig. Oh, and Solig finds the net again. He is definitely feeling it tonight. Finding the net yet again. Short time too, giving up a goal less than a minute to go in the first. It's the one thing you don't want. But great play by Sky Solig there. And that'll be a 2-minute boarding penalty on Parker Norling for Sheridan. And they will have another penalty to kill off here. One cleanly by Gillette, one timer with the D-to-D pass, goes wide. Gillette looking for that offside release, but didn't find it. Shot from the point. I don't believe that was tipped. Looks like a number for you here in just a sec, number 21. Looks like he had a point shot there, no deflection. Number 21, Brock Trebojevic. I don't get the official score count. I don't know if he got the goal or it was tipped, but sure appeared to be that way. And we have a 3-1 game, and Sheridan pays for their penalty with only 21 seconds elapsed on that. So on one there by Gillette, and they can't connect. But a lot of back and forth, dangerous plays all of a sudden offensively from both squads. That's when you know the game's kind of opening up, when you see those opportunities go both ways. Puck out to the blue line, shot. Yeah. Beautiful timing there to get in there right after a low shot. Great low shot on pad. And just sitting out on the doorstep, and he's able to hammer that home. As he chips it safely out of the zone. Gillette regroups quickly. Shot, block, loose puck, and he's able, yeah, nobody picked him up. He's able to collect that puck. And that's 5-3 for Gillette now. Sheridan, Billings gets a 4-minute penalty. Must have got a misconduct tacked onto that, I'm assuming. And Gillette buries one just like that, 6-3. But they will remain on the power plays through the double minor there. 8 seconds remaining. And that'll do it, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We hope everybody has a happy and safe New Year's. And tune in tomorrow night as the Gillette Wild will host the Sheridan Hawks on their home ice. I believe that game starts at 7 p.m.
The Hawks are in their road blues with yellow trim and yellow numerals with blue socks and yellow and blue stripes. The Wild in their home whites with orange numerals with yellow accents. Got their orange and yellow and black stripes on their socks, and we're about ready to get things underway. I don't know if it shows up on the TV screen broadcasting here at all, but a little bit of a haze or a dust here in the building. They had the Kissick Water and Oil New Year's Eve bucking ball last night, and they're cleaning that up. It's down to Blake in the corner. Gets sandwiched down there, but Wild still with it. Gets it right in the slot to Slinger. Slinger walks in, but his shot goes off of a goaltender, and then Ian Richards with one. I don't know if that got any kind of redirect. Slinger with a nice shot, and it went off of turn it down some. Went off of a Sheridan player, bounced right back up to Ian Richards, and he was able to fire that home. Wild with it, and they're going to kill this penalty off. Wild comes up high to Slinger. Slinger kicks it back down low, so Wild able to kill that one off. Shot and goal. That was a nice one right there. You got to turn it on. Oh, nice job right there. That Blake with another one. So Will Blake enjoying the new year here so far. Time golf shot. Just a little wedge there up over the top of everything and off the back glass. Seja gets it to Solig. Solig fakes and then shoots and scores. Nice shot right there by Solig, and pass from Norwegian. Power play goal. Well, that was took 31 seconds, and we got some more time left. 4 minutes and 29 left. Net. Comes up high to Trebojevic. Slides it back over to Lean. Lean right in the slot to Norwegian, and then Will Blake with a hat trick in the first period right here. The hats come flying. Nice job by Will Blake. Got the puck and kept it on his blade, able just to curl that one around the goaltender. So got his second power play goal, and the Wild still got 2 minutes and 1 second left. So congratulations, Will Blake, the Hattie. He's going to play more New Year's Day games. So changes, looking. Gets it over to Baker. Baker chops at it. It's going to come up high. Kleinschmidt sends it near side. Shot off the back wall, trying to wrap it around. Good goal right there. Tristan Baker very alertly grabbed that one off the back wall. Leffler was on the near side. Baker's able to put that one on his blade and pull it around.
Trebojevic sending in a nice shot there that bounces off the backboards, and Baker instantly puts her in. Goalie out of position. Good goal.
All right, center ice. Now it's back to center ice, and then dumped in by Slinger. It's at the back of the net. Intercepted by Lean right in front. Lean's got to get one right there. Lean with just some good work.
Picked up his own deflection off the goalie there and sent it right back in.
Yeah, that was just good work. And part of that, Sky Solig with some little bit of credit there, because he dove in hard on the forecheck there. Puck was behind the net. He went to get to it, kind of drew the goaltender a little bit off, but that was just good effort right there. Tucker Lean fired one in. Thought he probably should have had that first one, but the rebound came back to him, and he was able to find pay dirt there. So to it's Bodie Dunham.
Looked like he tried to kick it across there, but no one else home for Sheridan.
Wild lean down. Lassler tries to send in front. Nice redirect right there. Isaac Young. Lassiter sent it along the ice, and Isaac got his stick down. Just sent that one behind Leffler, not doing about everything he could do on that one. So
he was following across, just a quick redirect and up and over the pad. Not much you could do there. Wild increased their lead to 7-0.
Sheridan had a guy streaking down the ice, but Guitard was able to stop that one. And
they'll just hold it and run out the clock.
That's the way she ends, as the Wild get a 7-0 victory. The horns and the siren go off. Everybody coming down to congratulate Orchard, but see who the... Wow, we'll have to check this out, though, if this is correct.
86 shots for the Wild tonight, followed by Sheridan's 20. Definitely out-shooting them.
Sky Solig, a goal and 2 assists tonight. Nice game from Sky, and he just created some traffic. Jack Orchard stopped 20 shots tonight, got a shutout. So
Will Blake's going to be the
Will
first
Blake going to be our #1 star with 3 goals and a couple of assists. Congratulations to Will Blake. Nice way to start the year. So
better stick with his New Year's resolutions. They seem to be
whatever he decided, they work. So, but yeah, the Wild with to pick up the 7-0 victory. We'll be back here Friday night, 7:05 puck drop against Sheridan Hawks. Thanks for tuning in.
Okay, we're back. Ian Richards joins us. Thanks for taking some time, man. I appreciate it.
Yeah, of course.
First of all, we'll get the business out of the way. How was Christmas?
It was pretty good. I mean, I got to see my family and everything, so that's always fun. But yeah, it was nice to get a break from hockey for a little bit and get away from some of the guys. I mean, we're all teammates, but
it's nice to get a break and go around. So what's a Richards family Christmas? Like, are both the grandparents still there? Or like, how does your time off break down? Like, from the time you guys got done with the showcase before you came back, kind of what were you able to to maybe disconnect and recharge the batteries?
I got to see my brothers down in the cities. That was really nice.
Okay, I don't know what that means. What the cities is, you're talking?
Minneapolis.
Okay, so
down in Blaine.
You're north of, Fergus Falls is north then?
Yep.
Okay, gotcha.
We're about 3 hours north of the cities
okay.
of Minneapolis and
Gotcha.
Blaine there, where we were playing. So then I got to see them, and then we went back up north to Fergus Falls. Got to spend some time with the family, chill a little bit a few days before Christmas there. And then Christmas Day, we went over to my aunt and uncle's house, and they always have a big gathering there. There's a lot of food, so that's always good.
So that's all the cousins and the whole group gets together?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep. And then we go to a movie with just my family and my other grandma, and that's on Christmas night. We go to a movie.
Okay.
That's always fun. That's always a tradition for us.
Nice.
And then the day after Christmas, we went to my other grandparents and had a lot of good food there. She's a really good cook, so really enjoyed that, and got to see some more of the more intimate family, and that was fun. So that's really what it consists of for me.
Is it nice to, because you guys have been going hard, or you had been going hard up through the showcase there for 6-7 weeks in a row. You guys kind of had a couple breaks early in the year.
Yeah.
Is it nice to get a break and recharge the batteries a little bit?
It is. It is really nice to do that, because just a few days off from hockey is just kind of that relax, get back your mental state too. I mean, that's always good.
Do you see it as kind of at each step when you move up, you'll see them talk about the season's getting longer and the grind, the just watching them talk about these like the rookie quarterbacks in the NFL or whatnot. Like,
Yeah.
is the junior season coming up from like the high school level and stuff when you move into the juniors? Is there a difference in how many games you're playing and going every weekend?
Oh yeah, for sure. For high school, I think, my senior year was a little bit different due to all that COVID stuff and everything, but I think we played about like 28 games or something. You can ask Isaac, he'll know more than I do, but there's a big jump there playing even those, it's 10 more, maybe even 20 more games? I don't know.
I think it's about 20 more, yeah, because you guys you're into your 30s now, 30, I think, aren't you? Yeah.
Yeah. Something like that. So, I mean, there's a lot more games, and going hard every weekend, like you said, that's quite a bit. Because back in Minnesota playing high school, we played every Tuesday and Thursday, which is a lot different than what we play now, and on the weekends, back-to-back games. So, I mean, that's different too. But, I mean, there was a few breaks there, and we got kind of the weekends off, So, I mean, going almost every day, we only have Sunday off? Yeah, 1 day a week off. So,
and sometimes you're on a bus.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, getting stuck on a bus.
Yeah, getting stuck on a bus.
So, no, it's a lot different. It's a lot more too. I mean, it's a lot more involved.
What have you kind of had to do, taking care of yourself, like physically and mentally? And like you said, you guys, you mentioned your brothers. I have a brother. I imagine it's no different than. Boys and girls are the same. You get them the same ones around each other. You get on each other's nerves, like shit gets to bothering you.
Yeah.
So how do you manage that? Kind of like you said, you're around the guys are. It's 6 days a week now. You guys are seniors. So what have you kind of learned from the management style of keeping both your mentals and your physicals healthy?
I mean, yeah, it's nice to have all the guys around you, like you said. Like, we're all a big family, right? We're all brothers, and I mean, we get on each other's nerves quite a bit, I feel like. So that Christmas break helped a lot. But, I mean, I don't tend to hang out with all the guys all the time like some of them do. And I mean, getting away from them for a little bit at a time is nice. But, yeah, I think we're all just sometimes getting on each other's nerves like a brotherly style, and kind of giving each other a hard time. So,
I'm the same way. I have kind of the work group that I do my work with and stuff, but outside of that, there's not a lot that I socialize with either, and I think it's okay to have the separation between business and pleasure and kind of what you're doing away from hockey. So
for sure,
the showcase, was that your first time at a showcase?
Yes,
okay.
Actually.
What was it like? What did you expect going in versus kind of how it played out?
Like personally, or what do you mean?
Yeah, personally for you.
I mean, I guess I expected to kind of just play my game, and not really think much about it. I mean, it was fun to play a lot of different teams. Like, we played 3 different teams that we normally wouldn't. So, I mean, that was a lot of fun. and then come back to the Frontier. I mean, it's just the same old teams again, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean, personally, I think I could have played a lot better than I did. But, I mean, I'm not going to dwell on it. I'm not going to beat myself up about it. But I would have liked to play better, I guess.
Did you see a difference in the hockey? And it wasn't just you guys, but Helena was in the kind of the same boat, where the way it was structured, you guys played in the top half of all the divisions.
Yep.
You guys both score a lot of points. Both get a lot of goals, and it seemed like, especially in the top 3 seeds as they cross-meshed, there was not a lot of scoring. What was that? Like, what do you attribute that to? There was good hockey played. I know you guys, you dropped games, and you don't want to drop games, but you didn't get beat 6-0.
No.
Like, it was damn good hockey played.
It was.
What's the difference? What's the difference for? Okay, you're talking like I'm 6 years old. I've never played. I don't know shit about it. What's the difference in a really good 2-1 hockey game versus, say, a really good 7-8 hockey game? Like, what's making that difference?
I mean, part of it might be the goalies, but for that 7-8, you know, like good teams are gonna put on really good shots on goalies, and that's just what you know going in, and you got to play some solid defense, right? So, I don't know. I mean, the goaltending plays a huge part in that. If you have some good goalies, you're not gonna score a lot of goals, but at the same time, like good teams, if you have good defense, you're also not gonna score a lot of goals. So if 2 big teams go at it, and let's say like they're both very offensive minded teams, like us and Helena putting up a lot of points, you know, if we go at it, we might get a high scoring game. But then again, you also might play each other down and get into it, just like grind it out, you know, like with the defense too, and then it might end up being a low scoring game like we played them, and it wasn't really high scoring game, right? So I don't know.
You know, like pretty early on, especially these teams that, I mean, I'm sure you scout and can look at numbers, but can you tell pretty early in a game, like, holy shit, this we're not going to get 7 on this guy, we need to get 2? And is that something you can sense early on in a game?
Yes and no. I mean, you can kind of look at a goalie in the warm-ups and say, ooh, he's kind of all over the place, or like really shaky on this part or on his high glove, you know, and then you try to shoot for it in the game. But I mean, it always doesn't end up that way. I mean, you can say, oh, this goaltender's really good, we just got to keep pressuring him with shots, you know, and get one by him every once in a while. But sometimes you might get really lucky and get 2 in a row, you know. I mean, it is what it is. I mean, there's a lot of factors that go into play there.
I think, and this is, I was hoping to talk to you earlier before, you know, we kind of everything happened, and then we broke for Christmas and whatnot and come back. I think of everything that's happened so far with you guys this year, and you played Helena tough there. You guys get them 4 times here at Spirit Hall. I think the most important goal that you guys have scored was your goal against Bozeman off the face-off, where you slapped it in. I think you guys were down, it was either 4-0 or 4-1, I believe, and you took that off the face-off and nailed it. And then you guys got another one real fast and tied it. So on something like that, I know you practice that and stuff, but did that feel good?
For sure.
Dude, it looked good.
I mean,
bam, bam, bam. How does that whole thing work? Like, do you know he's trying to bring it to you off the face-off, or kind of how does that happen?
Well, it was honestly one of the weirdest ones, because Bovey was out on the ice. He was the one that got me the assist, I think, unless it came from my D partner. I don't remember who it came from over on that side, but he went up to the face-off, like he talked to me right before he took the draw or something, and he called it. He was like, hey, I'm getting this one, it's going right over to you, and then you're going to one-time that right in there. And don't worry about hitting me or anything, like just get it through, right? So then he called it like perfectly. It came back right over to me, and it was kind of a fluttering puck, you know, when it kind of shakes on the ice, you know, it wasn't flat. So it's kind of like a knuckle puck, if you ever seen Mighty Ducks. I mean, that knuckle puck kind of feel. So it wasn't really a straightforward shot. It kind of arced and was like a change up in baseball, you know? So the goalie didn't really see it coming.
So did you watch the whole, like, there was no one in front of you, got to watch it go in?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, awesome.
Beat him right over his glove. He kind of like did the whole, and then missed it, right? So.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's go back. One thing I've asked all the guys is, back to your first memory of hockey when you first started playing hockey, going back to when you were little, like what is your first recollection of getting into hockey?
Like with a stick in my hand or on the ice?
On the ice, anytime.
Well,
what's your youngest memory of it?
So I kind of got into hockey from my neighbor, Chuck. He got me into it, and I started off I would go over to his house and watch it on the big screen down in his basement, and we'd go behind the couch and play a little floor hockey with a ball and those floor hockey sticks, you know?
Yep.
And that's kind of the first time I got a stick in my hand and got into it, you know, and he was the big pressure to get my parents to take me to the rink and actually play.
Was your family, was there like your brothers and stuff, were they playing hockey or anything?
No.
No. You're kind of first generation
I am.
with the family in hockey.
Yep, for sure.
Did they take to it as much as you did? Like, is it something that everyone kind of enjoyed off the start, or did it take a little bit of time to get used to?
I think so. I think everybody kind of got into it. I mean, my brothers are quite a bit older than me, so I have a picture of me on the ice when I first started out in a Minnesota Wild jersey with my thumbs up, my gloves, and my brother took that actually because he worked for the paper then, and he was at the rink quite a bit, and I mean, that was a lot of fun. So there was a lot of that, and then my parents saw that I really liked it, so they just went full bore into it. I mean, they gave me all the support I needed to stay with it and make me better and get me to the next level all the time.
When do you know, like when you're talking about just kind of the skill level, and that's you guys, I mean, there is a definite skill level we've seen even with the group that Ethan's brought in here over the last few years and what we've had here. You guys are you're good hockey players.
Yeah.
So there has to be a time in your youth hockey where, when did you kind of start to notice that, hey, I want to put more time and effort into this, and maybe the junior hockey route is something that I want to go? Like, how old are you when hockey really starts to kind of make sense?
I don't really know. I mean, I kind of just went with it all the time and went to all the summer camps I could, and just always put forth a good effort when you went out for practice, and I guess making it to the next level is always just kind of in the back of your mind. I mean, as a squirt, you're always saying, oh, you're watching the NHL games, and you're like, I want to be that someday, but not everybody's going to,
No.
And I guess that doesn't always get into everybody's head until maybe a few years later, and then you start realizing, oh, I guess I actually have to try, and then it's not as easy anymore. Skill doesn't take you that far. I mean, you got to work hard, but I guess, going into high school as a sophomore, I started playing high school hockey.
Okay.
And started, I think it was second line, and I mean, that was always fun. I mean, I always that's what I expected, to get to the next level, So I always thought I'd play after high school. I didn't know where, I didn't know what league, what team, but it was always there in the back of your head. So
how does the high school, like the high school midget club in Fergus Falls, like, are you guys, so you have high school hockey, and then are you playing club hockey as well, or how does that work through the high school years?
So in Minnesota, I've heard it's a lot different than where everybody else plays, 'cause everybody else is like AAA and stuff like that in the club, you said. But in Minnesota, the high school, that's your best hockey.
Okay.
So there's a AA league, and then that's for the bigger schools.
Okay.
And then there's the single A league that like Fergus played in, because we're kind of a smaller town and smaller school, so we don't have the numbers of like Edina and stuff like that.
Okay.
But we always put on a good show. I mean, we're not the best in our section or anything, but the high school hockey is pretty good in Minnesota. So that's what you want to play for.
And I've had people tell me that it's worth going. Like, if you can go to the state tournament sometime.
Yeah.
Like, just as a sports fan in general, that
for
is
sure
a bucket list item to go check out, because it's just crazy.
And it's always like there's thousands of people in the stands. It's at the Minnesota Wild Stadium, so I mean, they fill up the seats almost every year.
16,000, 14 to 16,000.
Yeah, there's a lot of people, and everybody goes to watch.
Championship gets like 21,000 people.
Yeah, so 20,000 people for high school.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
It's unreal. So
how do you end up in Gillette then? How does that happen?
Well, I guess I kind of came with Isaac Young, and Declan was already here. He kind of got noticed, and then his younger brother Isaac is like next to on the list, and then I was kind of on the same team as them, so then I kind of got looked at too. And last year I came out with the Youngs and played a weekend or a week with them here, and I mean that was a lot of fun, and I got noticed by the coach, and he was like, yeah, we want you out here next year, so anything to make that happen, I mean, I'd love to do it. So I mean that's kind of the process for me anyway. But
what were your first impressions? Like, did you know anything about Gillette? Anything when you came down here, and kind of did you like Spirit Hall, or what's the part about being down here that maybe has kept you around?
I guess Spirit Hall is, I mean, the atmosphere here is really nice. Wish we could get a few more fans out, but
yeah, we're working on it.
I know. But the facilities here, like the rec we get to use and stuff like that, is really nice. All the guys here are all in it to win it, We're all trying our best to get to the Fraser this year, and we have the skill, I know we do, but we just got to all buy in like everybody's trying to do. So, I mean, that's kind of what it is for me, just all the guys in the atmosphere around here. And I guess Isaac kind of helped too. I mean, we've always been good friends growing up, and we've always just played hockey together, and we're out here together, and that's the best for me. I mean,
how important is it on teams when you talk about maybe the stuff we don't see and the stuff in the locker room and the camaraderie? Like, how important is that when you're talking about being successful when it comes the playoff time, and you're going to have to, you never know what's going to happen, but more than likely you're going to have to beat Helena to go and move on up into Minnesota.
Yeah.
So is that the atmosphere and the guys, like, that's something you recognize and can tell with the group, and it's important?
Yeah, I mean, I think that really helps in that chemistry on the ice and off the ice. It's huge. Like, some other teams are just kind of individuals, and they just kind of keep to themselves, I've heard. But I mean, the guys that we have here, and we're all just in it and with each other all the time. We're all, I mean, I know we pick on each other quite a bit, like you said earlier, but it's part of it. I mean,
you can sense it now. Like, I think I have the best seat in the house to watch the games from. But you can sense the teams that have some shitheads on them and don't cause any trouble.
Yeah.
You were talking Bovey, so I think it was even you. Somebody hit you dirty Saturday. I think somebody hit Isaac dirty Saturday.
Yeah.
And so Bovey come over here and was chatting with him, and then he was going over, and someone said something to him, and he was just pointing at the bench. And Bovey's
for sure.
I will beat you up. I will beat you up.
Yeah.
I will beat you up. And that's cool that you guys, like, you're not going to take shit from anybody for each other. It's not like if somebody hits Isaac dirty or somebody hits you dirty that you're like, well, shit, no, somebody's going to come over there and dart somebody. Like, no, you're not.
Yeah.
You're not going to do us like that. So that's fun to watch from our standpoint, and you can really see and sense that. So, okay, last thing.
All right.
Last question.
All right.
Looking back through all the years and everything, who's been the most special, or maybe had the most influence on you, either on the ice, off the ice, to kind of where you are now? Who's had the biggest influence on you, kind of as a hockey player in general?
I guess the one that got me into it, my neighbor, his name is Chuck. He got me into it, and he's always been the one to kind of like my influence, like get back out there and keep doing stuff, because I mean, he always comes to as many games as he possibly can. He even came out here. He had a blast too. I mean, it was so fun for him. But I mean, he's one of the big ones. And then, I mean, my parents, I always got to give credit to them, because they're always pushing me, and they're always the ones saying, oh yeah, you can do this, you can do this, and like there's ways to get better. And they always give me that opportunity to pursue that and make it to the next level.
Double last one. When you just mentioned your parents and stuff, and that's something. And Isaac, will talk to him about that. Same thing with his, and then I know yours.
Yeah.
It really helps to have your parents buy into what you're doing, because
it does.
It's not, for one, it's not cheap.
No,
and
it's
for
not.
one, you're running all over the Midwest and shit. So
exactly.
It really helps a lot when your parents kind of buy in it and you have their support too.
For sure. That's always a big part.
Cool. Well, dude, I appreciate it.
Yes,
I won't
thank
get to
you.
watch you guys this weekend. I have to go chase the girls. We got to go
Ah,
to Laramie
shoot.
and Cheyenne, so I won't be here. I will be back for the Helena weekend, though. Like,
All right.
I'm really looking forward to that. So,
Sounds
thanks,
good.
man. Good luck this weekend.
Yes, thank you.
All right, we're back. Still under the mood lighting. Isaac Young, thank you for taking some time.
Yep, thank you for having me.
Appreciate it. We, before we get into the important stuff, I want to know from the time the showcase got over to before you headed back down here, like what was the Christmas break like?
So first day back, I got a haircut right away.
Now, is that mom and dad making you do that, or you just
No,
wanted to
that
do
was
it? Okay.
that was me. Hair was
Okay.
getting too long. Then after that, it was sleeping in, playing with the dogs, hanging out with parents, grandparents, playing a couple of video games here and there.
How does the dynamic of Christmas work with you? So is it, do you split time? Are you going to different places? Are you seeing cousins, or kind of what's those couple days around Christmas like?
So my mom's side of the family all live around us. So like between my grandparents' house, my mom's house, and her brother's house, so my uncle, we like rotate Christmas every year.
Okay.
And like all the other holidays. So we were hosting Christmas, so we had them over. And then we had my dad's dad there too. But we usually what we've done in the past is just go to his house like Christmas Eve or something. But they came over this time as well. So that was all on Christmas Eve, I think.
Now, do you have to help out at all? Like, are you cooking or helping mom with anything?
I helped clean this year, and that was
See, that's very
Yeah.
important. That's very underrated. That is very noticed by mom,
Yeah.
though. That is a very
Yeah.
big deal.
I mopped all the hardwood floors.
Nice.
Yep.
Do you guys get any hockey in, or do you kind of separate for a few days, or is there any kind of tradition stuff with hockey?
This year I didn't touch a stick once,
Okay.
but in the past I've usually tried to skate outside, but we got like 1.5 feet of snow, so it was kind of pointless to try to skate outside. So I just kind of chilled and relaxed, worked out a couple times, and that was about it.
Does it feel nice to kind of to get a break, to disconnect, maybe even just for 3 or 4 days?
Yeah.
To just
It
kind of
was
recharge the
really
batteries?
refreshing.
Have you noticed a difference, talking to Ian, on the length of the season now, kind of against from the high school days to this?
Yeah,
Can you sense now that the season's maybe longer than stuff you've played in the past?
yeah, for sure.
Is there anything you're doing to kind of prepare yourself here moving forward with it being longer?
I've been using a lot more like massage guns and stuff like that, and massaging to help keep fresh and good, so you don't get a bunch of lactic acid built up and just stuff like that. Stretching a lot more.
What about mentally? Is there something you do? Like, are you a video gamer? Is there something you kind of do to get your mind off hockey a little bit, even during the week and stuff?
Yeah, recently I've just been binge watching Family Guy at home.
Okay.
Laying on the couch, doing that. Every once in a while I'll play video games, or I'll go sit in the hot tub with some of the guys or do stuff like that, but that's about it.
Okay, so the showcase. We were talking a little bit before we got started on the Frontier, especially the top teams in the Frontier scoring a lot of points and they're getting a lot of goals, and then you get up there and you see it tighten up on defense.
Mhm.
What is that difference in hockey up there? Like what causes? Because there wasn't bad hockey played. It was all good games, but it went from shootout kind of razzle dazzle to real lockdown hockey. So kind of what causes that?
I think it's just playing closer competition. Because like in our division, like obviously us and Helena are both up there, a lot of wins, not a lot of losses. And like Bozeman and Great Falls, you can see the drop off from there, and then it just keeps dropping off and off. And we have a lot of teams in our division versus like the West. They only have 6 in theirs, and their top 4 teams would be number 1 in ours probably in our division. But they play harder competition every night just because those 4 teams are that much better than like say Sheridan. No offense to Sheridan.
No, but no, and you see, well, that's what we've seen even through the years here.
Yeah.
Is we've seen the cycle of when I first started, kind of helping with the team. Dude, Yellowstone was, the Quake were awesome. They'd come in and pump you every weekend.
Yeah.
Then it kind of went through the cycle with Sheridan, and now Gillette's on the upside. That's the one thing I've noticed with the stuff here is it can be very cyclical if you don't get a good guy like Ethan and hang on to him. Like that's the guys that are going to be good at bringing in the players and stuff. That's what you're going to see. So that's just kind of how it goes. So no, it goes up and down and everything. So that's just kind of the way it goes. You guys, the games in Helena were good. It was good, tight hockey. You guys didn't get the wins, which obviously you wanted. But was there stuff you kind of took from that game, and then from the games at the showcase where you're playing that top talent that you guys kind of know what you need to work on?
Yeah, for sure. Like one thing, like playing with more speed, like against Sheridan, you don't have to skate full speed to be able to skate around them. But if you don't skate full speed against Helena, they're gonna burn you. Or even like Mason City or Oregon, like the teams we played there, their top guys are that much better than the people we usually play, like Sheridan and stuff. But I don't know, I don't know, a lot of speed, a lot more speed. You got to be harder in the corners, stuff like that.
So it's mainly kind of the difference at the top end. It might not so much be a size thing where you see the changes in the speed of the players. That's what picks it up there when you get to the top end.
Yeah, for sure. It's the speed and the work ethic, and like not being scared to like go in the corners and sell out for your teammates or blocking shots, stuff like that.
And you guys seem to have a group that you guys, Ian had also talked about. It was nice to get a few days away from each other. Although you guys, there's a lot of the camaraderie is good. You guys get along well, but it's still, I'm sure you and Declan go through the same shit. My brother and I were 18 months apart, 15 months apart. We went through the same stuff where you're going to fight and need a little break. So is that something you kind of feel with the group of guys, that you have each other's back and it's a group that's looking out for each other?
Yeah, for sure. There's like at practice, there's no fights, which every once in a while it would be nice to have a fight or two.
Yeah.
Just to get the boys riled up and stuff. But
you guys can't get anybody to fight yet. Like they talked a lot.
Yeah.
Sheridan talked a lot, but no one wanted to take their clothes off. So it's I mean, sometimes I still think you can probably have a healthy competition and stuff. I don't know if Ethan wants you guys throwing punches at each other, but it's cool to see. I really like when you guys have each other's back.
Yeah.
Because that's not something we've always had here. But that with the group now and seeing you guys really stick up for each other, I think that's awesome.
Yeah, everyone gets along really well too. It's a big part of it.
Is this the best team that you've played on, record-wise, as in kind of where you guys are at in the standings? Or have you done this before? Like, have you been on a team that's one or two through the standings, kind of headed towards the postseason?
So not for like an actual like organized like high school team or something like that. Like last year high school we were 15-4, I think.
Okay.
And we had the school record actually for longest win streak at 12 games, which is pretty impressive for high school hockey if you ask me. Because normally you only play 25 games. Last year we played 19 or something like that. But then like preseason stuff, you can play like tier 1, and one of my tier 1 teams went 18-2 or 19-2, I think, and lost in the championship game.
Okay.
But after the season, because like the tier 1 season in Minnesota, it's just like before the season, and then you can play for a championship game to go to nationals. But like, say like Wyoming, they have that all year long.
Okay.
It's like the same tournament that you'd go to, like the nationals. Our team ended up staying number 1 all year long in the standings.
Gotcha.
Like rankings.
So it's used to playing. You're used to playing kind of the top end hockey. So here over the next month or so, like, what's important, or something you've learned in the past, that what's going to be important for you guys over the next month?
You can't get complacent where you're at. You always got to work to get better.
Now,
that's the biggest thing.
Back to let's go little baby Isaac. I'm going to assume the hockey started probably with your brother, because he's 2 years older than you?
Yeah, he's like just under 2 years older.
Okay, so a little under 2 years older. So when you look back or think back to your earliest first memory of hockey, what is it?
So my parents own a suite at the Ralph Engelstad Arena. That's where UND plays their D1 hockey. And they've owned that suite since day one that building opened. So I've been going there since I was like 3 months old, I think.
Okay.
So that obviously helps a lot, being exposed to hockey really young. I went to all those games growing up until it became hard to. And then obviously Declan joining made me want to join too, being the younger brother. So
how old are you when you start skating then? Are you like a year old? Is it once you're done walking, or are you
I
3
was
or 4,
I was
or-
3, I think, when I started.
Okay.
Just around 3 years old.
When do you know, like competitive wise, when could you start to feel a separation that, okay, I'm better at this than some of the other kids, which is okay to say. You guys, all of you guys you excel in hockey. So how old are you when you know that you kind of want to take it maybe a little further and work the junior way? Like, how old are you when hockey got a little easier and you had to work a little harder against the better kids?
Well, I think I've always been one of the better kids. Like in squirts, I was always like my second year squirts or whatever, I was one of the leading scorers. And same thing into Pee-wees, second year Pee-wees, I was one of the better ones. Like always my second year of hockey, I always thought I was one of the better ones. And then in high school, sophomore year, I was second line. Then junior, senior year, I was first line. So like, I don't know. And then doing all this, I played a lot of summer hockey too. Like in the past, I used to do like 12 to 11 tournaments every summer of like 4 to 5 games. So that helped a lot too. And those teams are always a lot of fun. I thought I played or excelled in that too. I don't know.
Nice. So it's something that it's kind of at each grade level you've worked at, but it's always where you've been one of the better players, and then there's some responsibility that comes along with that too. So you, I'm guessing, obviously end up down here or come down to do it with, because Declan was already here.
Yeah.
And as opposed to your, damn sure this skill level was to be at the junior level, but was there ever any inkling, like, did you want to go anywhere else? If there is no Declan, do you go somewhere else, or did you like Gillette before you came down here, or kind of how did that happen where you ended up down here?
So Declan's first year out here, it was a different coach, and I practiced one time just like because I was out here and they said you can skate if you want, so I did. And then Shaw was obviously one of the coaches. He liked it. The next year I came out, so that would have been my senior year of high school because we started super late because of COVID.
I remember when you guys came down the one weekend because you played.
Yeah, I played one weekend, then went home, and then our high school season got delayed again, so I came back out for like 6 more games and played that, and then didn't play the rest of the year here because our high school season was like the same time. And then over the summer, Hayes and Shaw, there's like 1 week where they just called me like every day and told me to sign before the draft, so I didn't get picked up by anyone else.
Okay.
They gave me a discount for a little 2-for-1 kind of deal. So that obviously helped a lot.
Yeah, because that's a big part of it. Man.
Yeah.
The whole expense of the deal. So are you happy? Like, do you like that you ended up down here? Like, do you like Gillette?
I don't mind it out here. I love the team, and I love that we're winning a lot of games, so that obviously helps a lot. I love the guys on the team. I love the coaches. But
what is one thing from Fergus that if there's one thing you could have down, not your mom and dad, not family related, but is there one thing that Gillette doesn't have that you have at home that you really miss?
Trees. It's so flat and boring out here, in my opinion.
Yeah. No, and I can't remember who was telling me. Oh, I have to go back. They all run together now. But one of the guys, they loved that. They got out here and it was a flat nothing. And I was like, well, you don't hear that very often. So
and lakes too. Like in Minnesota, you can drive 10 minutes and you get to a big lake.
Yeah, no, we have Keyhole. That's all we have.
Yeah.
So it does us just fine. But yeah, I would like to take the boat sometime up to one of the big lakes and see what that's like up north. So last thing, kind of the same thing I end with everybody. Who's been the biggest influence, or maybe has taught you the biggest lessons or whatnot in hockey, kind of growing up? Who had the most influence on you being where you're at right now?
Well, obviously his parents help a lot because they obviously paid for a lot of it, or almost all of it actually. But I think like the main thing would be like my summer hockey coaches, because I've played on those teams for like 8 to 9 years just growing up, and I had the same coaches every year, and both of them were really good at hockey, like played USHL or minor pro. So I think that helps a lot. That's probably it, coaches.
Cool. Nice. Well, dude, I appreciate it. Like I said, I gotta chase the girls this weekend, but I will be back, so I'm looking forward to you guys getting Helena in here.
Yeah, me too.
Kind of seeing what you guys because you've had a month or so to look at everything, and I'm excited for it. So I appreciate it, man. Have good luck this weekend. I'll see you next week. Big thank you to Ian and Isaac for cutting out some time, sit down and chat with me a little bit about hockey. Very, very open, very honest. That's another aspect, or what you see with this group of young men, is they're very honest about their play. To compete at the higher level with the teams that are at the top of the divisions within the NA3HL, you gotta be bigger, faster, stronger. Bigger, faster, stronger. And they're very open about that. And they know that that is the things they gotta develop and they gotta work on, and that's important to see. It's not whining and bitching about the coaching. It's not whining and bitching about the officiating. It is personal responsibility and the ability to recognize where they are as players and need to work on that. And I think that's why you see people that can be honest with themselves about that, the young men that recognize that and know where they need to work. You'll see them work and you'll see them get better, and you're going to see them grow. And I think we're continuing to see that here with the Wild. We waited a couple days. We talked to those guys on Monday. Tuesday, I wanted to wait and see when the NA3HL put their awards out, because we had two guys, Sky and Will, have phenomenal games. Sky, 2 goals there in Sheridan on Friday night, and Will with the hat trick in the first period on Saturday night. I think 5 points he had total Saturday night. Neither one of them got any sort of recognition from the NA3HL, be it as the Frontier Player of the Week or honorable mention. I'm not sure if maybe they didn't watch the games or what, but I found that a little wild, that no mention of either of them. So we'll mention them here. Sky, Will, phenomenal job last weekend. Scoring points, getting wins. Also on Friday night, Declan Young with his 100th career assist with the Wild, which he is now tied for the lead. His next assist, he will sit solely atop all-time assists leader, all-time goal scorer, and all-time points stacker for a career with the Gillette Wild. Not a bad career. So Declan's next assist he gets will move him to first place in all of those. So with that, I got to chase. I'm chasing hockey this weekend. I'll not be at the game Friday night. Wish the boys the best of luck. Everyone that's traveling down, be safe. We will chat. We got some new faces, guys that have come in. We'll get some of the older, newer guys next week, and then we have another set of even newer guys the next week. And then we'll be about through all the boys, and we got to start over. I got to get Declan back on again, Tristan back on again, the ones that had the audio real screwy before we got little Mr. Microphone right here. So we'll get everybody caught back up, get everything gone through, get everything good. I appreciate you guys checking us out. We'll see you next week.